I know you're a joyous morning, a glorious morning to be alive and celebrating that we are here. Welcome to the Rio Grande Center for Spiritual Living remotely this morning. We're available on Facebook and YouTube, and so grateful for all who are in attendance and all who are blessing each other just by being alive. Thank you. Remember, if you're joining us today on Facebook or YouTube, you can click on the icon for closed captioning, and that will help you if you're having any trouble hearing our service. Let's begin with our opening song.
Hello, Susan Clark with you to provide some special music for your service today at the Rio Grande Center for Spiritual Living in Albuquerque, New Mexico. I want to start out the day with a song that I wrote. It's called Ancient Voices Call to Me. And this song brings back a really nice memory from a few years back. Reverend Martha Quintana was having her ordination service ceremony, and at that time, we were meeting at Hotel Albuquerque in the wedding chapel. That's where Rio Grande Center for Spiritual Living had its beginnings. Some of you might remember that. And we had a choir that we put together, and we were up in the balcony in the back of the sanctuary, and we sang this song per Martha's request. It's called Ancient Voices Call to Me. Ancient voices call to me. I can hear them in my dreams, telling me the soul lives on long after my body's gone. The soul lives on and on and on, carries me to higher ground, never lost, always found. The soul lives on and on and on. The soul lives on. Ancient voices call to me. I can hear them in my dreams, telling me that love lives on long after the hatred's gone. The soul lives on and on and on, carries me to higher ground, never lost, always found. Love lives on and on and on. Love lives on. Ancient voices call to me. I can hear them in my dreams, telling me that peace lives on long after the wars are gone. Peace lives on and on and on, carries me to higher ground, never lost, always found. Peace lives on and on and on. Peace lives on. Ancient voices call to me. I can hear them in my dreams, telling me the soul lives on long after the body's gone. The soul lives on and on and on, carries me to higher ground, never
Beautiful, Susan. Thank you. What a wonderful way to start this service. This service is, I just feel spirit sitting remotely. You know, we can never be without spirit. Thank you, Susan. Now let's join for the vision. And well, now I'm going to call Marilyn O'Leary forth this morning to give us our invocation, and then we'll follow that with our mission and vision statement.
Oh, good morning. So I am filled with joy this morning, and I'm thinking of spirit, how our symbol of spirit coming into the world in human form when Jesus was born, and what that symbol means to me today, that I'm sure it was not expected. I'm sure what Mary and Joseph were doing was, and where that baby was born was not what they were expecting. And I'm thinking about that today as we are remote and thinking, this isn't exactly what we expected. And I think some of us are having mornings that aren't exactly what we expected, but they are with spirit. And I invoke spirit to be here in our consciousness in the way that it is always here. That we know that we are blessed, that we are one with spirit, that whatever we come here for in prayer and in love is answered. If we need health, the appearance of health, the appearance of illness is gone. We have health. The reality is abundance. The reality is joy and happiness and love. Anything that we want is here for us. And so I know that spirit helps us to find the reality of that today as we are together in this wonderful ceremony. And I bless everyone who brings this to us. I bless our remote tech team that helps us go right from being in person to being remote. I bless everyone who is here participating. I bless all the people who are attending remotely and the people in our congregation, whether they're attending or not. And I bless all people everywhere, knowing that this is a special day, a day of light, a day of love, a day of goodness. And so it is. Amen.
All right, and at this time, Reverend Gill is our celebration host this morning and our speaker, and he will have words for you right now.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Carol, and thank you for that beautiful prayer. Marilyn, Merry Christmas, everybody. Great to see you all. Happy day, happy holiday. Marilyn nailed it. That this is not exactly what we all had in mind, but we'll talk more about that later, and that's really okay. Because what we do know is that its spirit is always consistent, always the same, and that there is only one power in that universe. We talk about this idea that we like to mention there's four basic things that we talk about in science of mind or in New Thought, and one of them being that there's only one power in the universe. It's called many things, but it is only one. And we know that our thought and our feelings are creative, that we create what comes forth in our lives. And therefore, we like to make sure that we stay in a more positive note. So that's something that's very important. Thirdly, everything is just about love, whether it's an expression of love or a call for love. It's all about love. That's all there is. And finally, all of us are whole, perfect, and complete. And what a beautiful day to celebrate that we are whole, perfect, and complete on a Christmas day. a day when we celebrate the Christian tradition of Jesus's birth, of the birth of light into our world, into our time. So we're grateful that you're here with us today. We're truly grateful that you've chosen to celebrate and to be a part of this. I'm just amazed whoever is here um, on a Christmas morning. Uh, that's some bravery right there. And so we appreciate you being here. Just want to welcome everyone who may be joining us for the first time, or they haven't been with us in a while. Welcome. We're so glad you're here. Blessings to you. Let us know that you're here. First of all, feel free to drop some notes in the comments. That would be great. In addition, feel free to go on the website and make sure that you fill out a form if you're new with us, so we can stay in touch with you. That would be fantastic. And we are ready to support and be with each one who's here. So, again, thank you for joining Rio Grande Center for Spiritual Living this morning, and particularly on this Christmas day. And I invite Carol to lead us in our vision and mission statement.
All right. Thank you, Reverend Gill. And I so feel that we are all united in knowing we are exactly where we're supposed to be this morning. It's wonderful. Join me now remotely. I'm sitting here with my 4 dogs, and so we plan to join the chorus of celebrating our vision and mission statements for the Rio Grande Center for Spiritual Living. Our vision, transforming our world with the power of love in action. Our mission, loving all creation through spiritual growth and service, always staying true to our highest selves. And at this time, I will read the sacred reading for the morning. And our theme has been very definitely light, the love and light. And I'm reminded that that's what we are. That's who I am. That's who you are. That's who we all are. And I can't quite think of a better reading this morning than the lyrics to Go Light Your World. Seek out the hopeless, confused and torn. Hold out your candle for all to see it. Take your candle, go light the world. Take your candle, go light the world. Frustrated brother, see how he tries to light his own candle some other way. See how your sister, she's been robbed and lied to, still holds a candle without a flame. We are a family whose hearts are blazing, so let's raise our candles and light up the sky. Pray to our Father in the name of Jesus. Make us a beacon in darkest times. Carry your candle. Run into the darkness. Seek out the helpless. Deceived, poor, and poor. Hold out your candle for all to see it. Take your candle. Go light your world. Carry your candle. Run into the darkness. Seek out the hopeless, confused, and torn. Hold out your candle for all to see it. Take your candle. Go light your world. This time, we have more special music from Susan Clark.
mistakes that I have made, or any of the things that caused me pain. I am not the pieces of the dream I left behind. No, no, no. I am light, I am light. 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 I am not the color of my eyes. I am not the skin on the outside. I am not my age and I am not my race. My soul inside is all light. It's all light. I am light, I am 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 light. I am divinity defined. I am the God on the inside. I am a star, a piece of it all. I am light. I am light. Oh.
That's just absolutely beautiful, Susan. And you know, I want to be sure to thank all who are joined in the service today, not just our congregants, but of course, we appreciate every one of you. But we know that there are people out there, practitioners. We are blessed at Rio Grande Center for Spiritual Living having 18 practitioners. And all in our own ways this morning are holding high watch for this service. And I want to be sure that you all are aware of those wonderful people who hold the light for us wherever we are. And that's beautiful. And at this time, Reverend Gill is going to give us our message.
Thank you so much. Oh, wow. And thank you, Susan. That was so beautiful. So beautiful. I am the light. We're talking about light. It's all about light. And it's been a very interesting week of moving here to this place of birth, this place of rebirth. So I've had an experience this week. Both Robin and I were blessed with COVID. This is the first time that we've really had it, and it knocked us both out pretty much. And as Marilyn pointed out earlier, things haven't looked exactly the way we expected. This was this was going to be a really big weekend with Christmas Eve and Christmas Day and services, and I was flat on my back in bed for the last few days, mostly. Not to mention the fact that I don't want to share this with anyone. So there was the concerns about how do I do this? What do we do now? And it's very interesting. I had to give up. I had to give up a lot of my control. I had to give up a lot of what I thought needed to happen or how it should happen or what it should look like. And I realized there's a certain level at which in this talking about, the birth of light into the world, the birth of of Jesus, but the birth of light, that COVID is sort of a metaphor that, when one gets something like that, the structures that are in place fall apart. Nothing works the way it normally does. Everything stops. And that's sort of that place where you give up. And as that happens, as you let go of the way it's supposed to be, this whole new path begins to come forward. A whole new possibility begins to show up. And suddenly there's this renewal, this potential place of birth, this potential place of stepping into something completely new and different. But none of that would happen without the breakdown. I just thought it was interesting, and it's a note. It's the truth of who we are, and that is we're always expanding, we're always changing, and that means we're always letting go. Ernest Holmes says this: let us be willing to die to the lesser in order to become resurrected into the greater. This is the true meaning of that thought, that we must lose our lives in order to find them. Naturally, we must let go of ignorance if we would gain knowledge. We must stop walking in darkness if we would walk in light. So there is no rebirth without a death of sorts. There is no resurrection without a death. There is no light without surrendering the darkness. It's a constant movement, I believe. Our lives are a constant movement, not of becoming the light, but of allowing this refreshing light to come forth as us. For as we come into that space of light in our world, we bring love, we bring grace, we bring peace, we bring joy, we bring possibility. And each time we allow ourselves to grow into a space of light, we can bring a more stable, a more loving light into the world. We don't have any more of it. We are just allowing it to show up in our lives differently, to show up more. So I think that's part of the idea behind Centers for Spiritual Living's theme of this week, of this Christmas, called Nativity 2.0, which frankly, when I saw it, I thought, what are they talking about? Okay, so here's a question for you. What does nativity mean? Does anybody know? Uh-huh. Yeah, I've heard it a lot, nativity. What do I think of? Well, when I was young, we used to always have to get the palm fronds from our palm tree down so that we could put them on the manger scene that we would create in our front yard with the plastic Mary and Joseph and the baby. That picture of Jesus's birth is the only thing I really connected with nativity. And what I discovered this week is that that's a specific nativity. And by that I mean the reality is that nativity means the occasion of a person's birth. Do you know that? The occasion of a person's birth, or the place of origin. So nativity is simply that place of birth. And so when I thought about that, and then I put it into Nativity 2.0, and I said, what are they talking about? They're talking about rebirth. We're talking about telling the story again. We're talking about telling a new story, telling a new story. And in fact, that's what we do. That's what's been celebrated over the years every year at solstice time is the story of the light being birthed into the world. And it's every time it's a new story, it's a new year, it's a new birth. And why is it important? Because it brings us into a space of renewed life each time. And it's been celebrated from Roman culture to Native American culture to South American culture to everywhere, European culture, all of it, everywhere has had some kind of tradition of allowing that light, celebrating that light showing up. Because each time that light shows up, it's Nativity 2.0. It's time to restart and re-go again. So what do we know about the idea of birth? If we're going to say Nativity 2.0 is about rebirth and the birth of light into the world, what do we know about birth? Well, first of all, birth takes time because in order to have something to birth, there must be a gestation period. There must be a time where there is creation happening. And that's symbolically what's happening in the fall in the soil. There's all this stuff happening, getting ready to come forth, which will come forth in the spring with the warmth of the light as it continues to expand. And in addition to that, there has to be a commitment of some kind, a commitment to stepping forward. As Ernest Holmes said, a commitment to stop walking in the darkness. If we're going to walk in the light, we have to stop walking in the darkness. If we're going to become resurrected into the greater, we need to let go of the lesser. So that is that idea of birth is where something is left behind and something new is started. And when you talk literal birth and you have a baby, you have a, a baby that's encased and fully held, and then it comes out into the world. It's a whole different thing. It's a whole different thing. And it would felt much safer to stay within the confines of the womb. And yet being born is the only way for the expression of that child to actually happen. And that's the truth of the light. Jesus said, you can't hide your light under a bushel. So you can't hide the light. You can't keep the light in that womb because it won't be able to do its job if you keep it in the womb. It has to be allowed to come out, to show up. And so every year we have this space in our calendar where we celebrate the return of light, where we celebrate and remember that the light was birthed into the world to bring hope, to bring joy, to bring peace, to bring possibility. So it's about our birth as the light again. Nativity 2.0 is our rebirthing into the light, our lifting ourselves into the light. Whatever's come before Whatever's happened in the past, it's really of no consequence. And I believe that's exactly what Susan just sang about. None of those things define us. None of the experiences of our life, none of the actions, the behaviors, none of that stuff defines who we are as we allow ourselves to again be reborn into the light, reborn as the light. Yes, reborn as the light. We are the light. We are bringing the light to the world because spirit is light and spirit is us. So we are born brighter each and every time. So we say, okay, today, my origin story, my nativity, it's going 2.0, and then it's going 3.0, and then it's going 4.0. Each time I am letting go of what I don't need anymore, and I am inviting this space of light to be born into my life that I might express it more and more. So, are we ready to really stay the course? Are we ready to allow ourselves to be born into the light? Are we ready to allow that bright, brilliant wonder of spirit to shine as us? Marianne Williamson said, are we afraid of who we really are rather than of anything we might fail at? Are we ready to embrace who we are? Are we ready to embrace this Nativity 2.0 of us? And this Christmas, we can change our world just by allowing ourselves to be the wholeness of who we are, just by allowing the light to show up in our lives and opening our arms to those around us, to ourselves, to our families. It's time. It's time. This time of light is our opportunity to remind ourselves we are the light. You are the light. I am the light. Oh, take a moment with me, would you please? And let's just anchor this in prayer. So I'm knowing that as we speak these words, there are dozens, if not hundreds, if not thousands of people, millions of people everywhere holding the space for this prayer of light. I am knowing right here and right now that each one of us is the light, that each one of us is the spirit of life, that the spirit of life breathes our very being, that there is no place where we are separated, no place where we can find where this light is not shining into the darkness. And so we embrace that. We embrace that knowing that the love of spirit reveals itself in every moment, that the love of God is here now, that light precedes us, that light just shines forth through our hands, through our bodies, through our faces, that the shine is comforting, brings love, brings light, brings hope, brings peace to all of those whom we are in touch with. So while Christmas seems to be about a particular nativity, has traditionally been about this birth of Jesus, birth of this one space of the light. It's really about all of us. It's really about all of us. And so I'm knowing that each light is absolutely important. Each light is absolutely necessary. Each light is blessed and a blessing. So I hold forth this truth that there is only one, and that one expresses itself as each one of us. And so this day, we stand in the space of our own origin story. And we allow ourselves to yet again be reborn into greater fullness, into that greater yet to be of who we are. Knowing that whether we're 5 years old, 25, 105, it doesn't matter. There is constantly space and to release what is old and to embrace what is new. There is never too much old, and there is never not enough new. So I'm just blessing this truth right here and right now, blessing all of those on this Christmas day, holding each and every one, spreading warmth into the world, spreading love into the world, and giving thanks. So I take this moment and simply give thanks for this word and release it and say, and so it is. And now, what is it doing? Oh my goodness. I don't know if you all could hear that, but that was crazy. My computer went crazy on me. Sorry about that. So it's at this time we have the opportunity to share with one another, to share our talents, our time, and in particular our treasure. And so I invite each one of us to consider how we're giving this Christmas. It's a great opportunity to open up and to not only receive the gifts, but to be the gift. So you'll see the thing going across your screen for how you can text. There's also, you can go online to our website and hit donate. Please just take a moment, consider what you would like to give, and make sure that you make arrangements to do that. Thank you so much. So let's just bless the giving bless all of the gifts that each one of us is able to bring to this center, to this community, which allows this community of Rio Grande CSL to expand out more into the world. So I'm grateful for that truth. I give thanks for all of those who are willing to place themselves in a space of nurturing and loving of others and of this community. And so it is. So it is. So from our abundance, we move forward. We move into this great and wonderful Christmas day. We continue forward with it. And I am just truly grateful. I'm inviting each one of you today to remember that if you have a prayer request, to please go online and note that so that we can pray with you. I'm also going to invite you to come to our social hour, which we're going to do on Zoom. And if anybody is there who is desiring prayer, we will pair you up with a practitioner and send you off to your own little room, and you can have a prayer there. So please feel free to request that if you come. Besides that, we just want to hang out, answer questions, chat a little, wish each other a Merry Christmas. And that will be that. I think now it's time for our announcement time officially. And I'm going to invite Marilyn.
Thank you, Reverend Gill. So our first announcement is the thank you to everybody who participated in Michelle's Giving Tree. It was absolutely wonderful. We wrapped almost 150 gifts, and they went to two special places and specific people. So we thank you for all your generosity. So this is a reminder, come to the vision board party from 10 to 3 on December 31st. That's Reverend Gill and Robin are leading this vision board at the center, and it's really going to be fun. So December 31st, that's New Year's Eve, from 10 to 3. But before that, participate in the World Healing Peace Meditation, which is going to be at 5 a.m. Mountain Time on New Year's Eve. So in order to participate, we are going to be doing that online. So go online to the Center for Spiritual Living's Facebook page, and it will be live there, and you can participate on it. And if you can't, you can get the recording later. But this is a World Healing Peace Day that's celebrated around the world, and it celebrates healing and peace for all globally. So come and join us for that. And then the vision board party in the afternoon. And then on Sunday, the 8th, the Board of Trustees is holding a special community meeting right after the service. So that's on the 8th. And then New Year's Day will be just a regular, it's a Sunday, and we're going to have our regular service in person on that day. And our vision board will be in person too. And I also want to remind us that we stand with Ukraine. And I want to really give thanks for something I saw and read this morning in an article about how some people in Ukraine, because they are living in such dire circumstances now with the war going on, don't have electricity. And some people set up a generator connected to a bicycle, connected to a Christmas tree with lights. And the Christmas tree was decorated with gold and blue banners and flags in the colors of Ukraine with lights, and people could go up to that and ride the bicycle, which was a stationary bicycle, and generate enough electricity for the lights to go on. So that just really filled my heart to think about what people did, what the people of Ukraine have done, their joy and their persistence and how they are still generating light and love. So remember Ukraine. Let me see if there's anything else. I don't want to miss anything. I think that is it for the events. And so now please join us for some of those events. And I'm now going to say a prayer of benediction in closing. So close your eyes and be here and be filled with all the beauty that we received today with it. Wonderful talk that Reverend Gill gave, with calling us to be real, to be alive, to be joy, to be light, to be ourselves. Thank you for that. And thanks for our ability to come to you remotely, for our thanks for all of your participation and oneness, and for thanks of this really wonderful time of the year. And thank you for a science of mind that helps us see beyond what the appearances are. And we know that this time is full of light and joy, and we're taking that out into the world for us for next week and indeed for next year. And so blessing you on your way, blessing every person here, blessing every person in line, online. Please say with me, and so it is. Amen. And now we'll have a closing song by Susan Clark.
So, I wrote a song with Ernest Holmes. I actually went through the big book, the Science of Mind book, one day, and I was reading about faith and belief, and almost all of the lyrics in this song are Ernest's words. I embellished a little here and there. I actually called, at the time I called the Science of Mind archives to ask them if it was okay if I used Ernest Holmes' words in an original song, and they said yes, go right ahead. So I did. And this song is called Believe, and It Shall Be Done. Oh yeah. Believe, and it shall be done. Oh, believe, and it shall be done. Believe, and it shall be done. Accept and let it be. Accept and let it be. Act as though you are. Oh, act as though you are. Act as though you are. Act and you will be. Oh, act and you will be. God's words are yea and amen. God's words are yea and amen. God's words are yea and amen. Look where you're going and not where you've been. Look where you're going and not where you've been. The law is, but it must be used. The law is, but it must be used. The law is, and it must be used. Let God's greatness wash over you. Let God's greatness wash over you. Faith without works will die. You know, faith without works will die. Faith without works will die. To create, you must learn how to try. To create, you must learn how to fly. God's words are yea and amen. God's words are yea and amen. God's words are yea and amen. Look where you're going and not where you've been. Look where you're going and not where you've been. Believe, and it shall be done. Oh, believe, and it shall be done. Believe, and it shall be done. are recording live, so a few imperfections here and there, but as we know, it's all perfect, just the way it is right now. Thank you.